What's going on, everybody? Today I want to talk to you about what makes the best and safest boot for fishing in the rain or really slick conditions. So first off, whenever I'm talking referring to boots, I'm referring to fishing specifically bodies of water that are rock-based. They get slick in the summer, they get slick in the fall and the springtime because of growing vegetation or what have you. This is something that whenever I'm looking into boots, I see guys and girls, whenever I get clients, they say, I have boots, and then I ask them a checklist, a cavalcade of questions, and for the most part, most of those questions are a no, and they end up having a bad time. So I wanted to go over what I think make good boot selections for fishing really slick conditions in the rain, or it could be frost or something like that on these small streams that I fish all the time. So this is no plug other than the fact that I like these boots, but brand aside, I choose boots that have really good ankle stability and a good ankle lock. People want to talk about the BOA system in negative light sometimes, but realistically, I have nothing but admiration for this boot. This is the Corker's Dark Side, I think it is. But regardless, I can lock this ankle down super well. And I can do it evenly because I can count the number of clicks. Just a personal thing on both ankles. Additionally, when I lock this down, it's not backing out, it's not coming undone, it's not giving, it's not settling, and if it does, I just crank it down a little bit more, because whenever I step down on rocks, I don't want my ankle to move left and right. That was actually pretty challenging for me to do, and when my ankle's in there, it doesn't move. So, tight, locked ankle. Additionally, if you do end up having laces, I like the ability to cover your laces, whether it be with a band of some kind, or rash guard, gravel guard, or your waders. Now in the summer I don't wear waders. I wear wading booties, and then I wear like the same pair of pants all the time. I'm a tick fiend, and so yeah, locking down your ankle and allowing that to not budge, tighten it down, lock it in. That way it protects your ankles from rolling and stuff. For grip, everyone swears by felt. Now sometimes felt is not legal in certain areas. I think if you're hiking long distances, felt with a studded bottom is a really, really good combination. But if you can't have felt and you're hiking a really long distance over muddy terrain or whatever to get to the water, I actually prefer, whether it be a Vibram sole or just a rubber sole with studs. I think the stud is the key. I hike miles in these boots, and I have a pair of felt with studs that I reserve specifically for the streams that I can actually use them on, but at the same time, typically steelhead weather that is a little cooler, and I don't have to hike quite as far to get to the stream. I still have to hike in a little bit, but if I'm hiking miles to get into the water system, I'm wearing a rubber or a Vibram with the studs in them. And the corkers just happen to be nice to be able to swap out for studs frequently. But I would say that if you can get yourself locked into a really solid ankle that protects your ankle, also allows you to be more sure-footed because you have fewer weak points of contact with the ground. Additionally, if you're not slipping on the rocks, then you usually have more confidence, and your awareness of the stream itself is better. But and then third thing is, if you're fishing the slippery systems and stuff, and you have the ability to, bring an old ski pole or a hiking staff. On these small streams, a hiking staff would snap, so old ski poles are nice. And that's what I bring for clients. Is I'll take an old beaten up ski pole, I'll take the collar off the bottom, and usually it's a good. If I can find my garage sales, really tall ones, and you can get stability in a 3-point stance essentially, and that helps me having to do the whole, let me help you across the street thing that happens with older clients sometimes with that are less stable on their feet in the water. I also think it's worth noting that in addition to really nice boots or really the right sole on the boot, is your awareness of the stream. If you've got high water conditions or you've got really slick conditions, being mindful of where you're walking is super important. Whenever you see fast water, that can mean one of a couple things, but usually means that if it's in a straight direction downstream and it's fast in one spot, it usually means shallow, and you can usually sidestep easier there than if it gets slow all of a sudden. That's a plunge pool. You don't want to walk in that. If it's on a bend, be careful, because that usually sometimes doesn't indicate the same thing. It means that the water is coming and hitting the bank and causing it to be deep, and it will be fast regardless. Just be mindful of where you are in the water, because no matter what, a good pair of boots will help, but it will not save you unless, or if you're making mistakes while you're wading it carelessly. Hopefully that was informative. If you have any more questions or you want boot-specific recommendations, I have different budget level boots that I would recommend to people, and I would be more than willing to do that in the chat. If you're interested in some awesome apparel, fly fishing apparel, and headwear and stuff, please check out my links below. Additionally, all the people who help us down below, check them out. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And please check out the other videos in the playlists that are hopefully helpful and informative for you. But until next time, guys, catch you guys on the flip side in tight lines.